Hello everyone, and welcome to the National Railway Museum. Today we'll be showcasing our broad gauge 750 class steam locomotive, number 752. Let's take a look. We've just undertaken an exciting cosmetic restoration of number 752 with the help of a major grant from the History Trust of South Australia. We are most grateful to the History Trust and to Enviroblast, who grit blasted the locomotive back to its original metal. Number 752 has now been moved into the main pavilion after spending many years outside. We are also especially grateful to our volunteers who have put in so many hours of work to bring it up to standard. It started its life as a Victorian Railways N-class locomotive with a 282 wheel arrangement. The design goes back to 1925, when 20 were built by the Victorian Railways for use on the many branch lines in that state, especially those with lighter tracks. At the time, they were the first Victorian Railways locomotives designed for possible gauge conversion from 5 foot 3 inch or 1600mm broad gauge to 4 foot 8.5 inch or 1435mm standard gauge. Unfortunately, the forward-thinking idea of converting branch line tracks failed to be implemented before the end of steam. Between 1948 and 1951, a further 50 locomotives to the same N-class design were built for the Victorian Railways by the North British Locomotive Company in Glasgow, Scotland. This was more than the Victorian Railways needed, and in 1951, 10 were sold to the South Australian Railways, which was experiencing a severe shortage of locomotives at the time. Under SAR ownership, they were reclassified as the 750 class and given road numbers 750 to 759 and then put to work alongside the much older RX class locomotives, some of which they replaced. Number 752 had been Victorian Railways number 477, with builders number 26787 of 1950. It entered service in Victoria on the 16th of February 1951 and was delivered to the SAR 8 days later on the 24th. They were particularly useful over the light lines of the Mallee, radiating from Tailem Bend, although they were used elsewhere. However, by the mid-1950s, diesel traction was starting to replace steam. By the end of the decade, new 830 class diesel electrics began to displace branch line steam power in South Australia. Though efficient and free steaming, the 750 class was said to be unpopular with engine crews due to their cramped cabs. I'm probably smaller than the average loco driver, and even for me, there isn't a lot of room to move. 10 years after entering service, only two, numbers 752 and 755, remained in use. Number 752 was the last in service and continued to see occasional service. In November of 1963, it was used to haul the Maya Santa specials, which brought children and their parents to the city from the country at discounted fares. It was last steamed in November 1964 and was eventually saved and placed in the Mile End Museum. If you enjoyed this video about number 752, keep an eye on our YouTube page for other videos about the rolling stock in our collection. The best way to see number 752 up close is to visit the museum. We're open every day except Christmas Day and from midday on Anzac Day. Keep an eye on our website for more details.